Kiddos.
Let's go.
Welcome back to Brewed For Greatness, episode 3.5. Apologies for the late episode release, but last week we had some technical difficulties on what we thought was a banger episode. But we're back. We're back now. Kurt's got a fresh cut and we're ready to rip in.
How are you, mate?
Good, thanks, mate. So it's normally talk to you a bit more often than we have recently the last few days. So I know when that happens, Kurto has been busy on the massive work grind and early mornings, late nights on the ergo. So what's been happening?
Not much, mate. Not much of the training, a bit of the working. School holidays up here in Queensland at the moment, so a lot of our staff head off with kids and head off and do their school holidays thing. So there's only a few of the young bucks holding up the fort. So we've been getting absolutely smashed, and we've had a couple big operational breakdowns. So we've had a couple late nights last week, which affected the training a little last week, which I was absolutely stoked about.
Not happy about?
Nah, but back to work today and everyone's back on board. So back to normal, a little more relaxed. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be you in a few years' time, mate. Taking a bit of leave on school holidays to duck away.
Oh, I hope so, mate. Hope so.
Nice.
I'm working on her. She's coming around.
So
what have you been up to?
So, me.
Yeah.
Mate, standard week. Most exciting thing, me and Steph went to the Melbourne show today.
Yeah.
Which was a little bit of fun. So saw some carnies. Lost a few dollars playing some of the carny games. Didn't win her any fluffy toys or anything like that.
Right.
We watched the show horses do their thing.
Yeah. You love the horses, don't you, mate? You're a sucker for a horse, aren't you?
Yeah, mate. Oh no. So it's a bit of that, which was good. Plus, also AFL weekend on Saturday. So, the beers were barking, as Dan would say. So that was nice to watch the game. It was a good game. But other than that, mate, just riding, training, programming, coaching. You know the drill.
Same old. Yeah.
Rumor has it you're stuck on the wind trainer for 2.5 hours in TT position on Saturday because of the weather.
Yeah, mate. The typical weekend. So, weather's perfect all week. Absolutely pristine Monday to Friday.
Whilst you're at work.
Yeah, while you're at work at a sewage plant, just loving life. And wake up Saturday morning to hail and wind and pissing down rain. So it was a longy on the trainer in a tiny little spare room with the missus next to me, just in TT.
Nice.
Yeah, that ergo for a longy is just not it. Hey,
No,
it's just one of those rides from the moment you sit and start pedaling, you're thinking about getting off.
Yep, that's most rides, mate.
Oh, mate. It's just woeful, isn't it? Because the weekend, you look forward to seeing a few of the boys getting
100%.
out, having a yarn. The time just flies when you're talking shit.
Yeah.
And riding your bike, where when you're sitting on that trainer just staring at the clock.
So you're saying you didn't enjoy sitting there on the wind trainer talking to Phoebe?
We don't talk on the trainer, mate, because we're both just hating it as much as the other person. So, and it got steamy.
Yeah, we love the heat adaptations though.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're working on.
Were you feeling fit though?
Am I?
Were you? Because you raced last weekend and you actually did a race and also a pretty long day as well. So have you felt like you've come well after that?
Yeah, I feel a bit better. I still didn't. Training hasn't been great with work, but starting to slowly get into some shape. So maybe by early next year, I should be in some decent shape if I can just stay consistent.
Nice.
So that's the goal. Maybe in Ironman sometime next year. So slowly just start getting into shape.
Yep. How much do you reckon you could take off from your first one?
Oh, fair bit.
Fair bit.
Yeah.
Do you reckon purely just not even fitness wise, but just learning from mistakes?
Nah, fitness.
Fitness.
My first one went pretty well. Mine's just in the run, mate.
Yeah.
I still reckon there's a fair bit of time for me to take off the swim too. I didn't really push that at all. The ride, I've got a new bike. I was riding a prehistoric Shiv that I don't think would have been very aero.
What do you got now?
I got old Burgers,
Oh,
last year's Scott Plasma,
yeah,
mate.
nice.
So, big step up.
Yep. Has it got
So
the full
hopefully
aero cockpit on it as well?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hopefully.
geez.
Oh no, I don't have his custom front
Okay.
front end. I've put my own one together. So
Nice.
I'm not just made of money, mate. So
I don't know about
nah,
that.
but it should make a big difference, eh? Hopefully give me a fair bit of free speed.
Yeah, I reckon.
And the runs, man, just got a lot of improvement in that run. I reckon there's probably half an hour just in the run.
To be fair, like it was like for a good stint there, like you were just cycling, so to be able to make a quick transition back to triathlons.
Yeah. No, I was really happy with how the first one went. Went better than like my first ever Ironman. Comfortably sub 10. I was pretty happy with that. So, I'm not the smallest bloke.
Don't know about that.
So, you know, big elephant running around for 42k, mate.
Rugby boy.
It's going to be a slow old day. But yeah. So what?
Oh, that's good, man.
You get some training done this week?
Yeah, training was good this week. Actually, I went and did hell ride on Saturday.
Hey.
Actually felt probably the best I have on the bike since post crash, which is positive signs. Got like 7 weeks till Southlands now. The fourth grand tour, so I'm pretty keen to rip into that. The boys have got the team on the down low. The legend that runs that composite team for the event, so he's pretty keen of what we've got cooking for that. So looking forward to it.
So what have you got a secret team coming in, mate?
No, because Southlands they pick in, they like everything changes quite a bit. Like they take in people who are typically not in the team for the year, just for like this one event. And then everybody like gets custom kits and all that kind of stuff for the event. It's pretty cool. Right. Like it's probably like the one race during the year where you can like people leave their trade team to go race Southlands, because it's 9 days and it's brutal. Yeah. So I'm pretty keen.
So you got a pretty cooking team or what?
No, yeah, it's looking good. Yeah, it's looking good. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So
what did I miss my call or what?
We triathlon mode, mate.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, nah. So I could run waters. I'm pretty good at that.
Or chief morale officer as well.
Yeah, chief morale. Yeah,
that's good. So we got that. So on the bike, sensations were nice. Chopping off with Marco, who's on form 24/7, as everyone knows. So a bit of fun there. What else was happening? I reckon riding wise, that's about it. Just standard training, mate. Coaching and programming all week as normal. Everyone's going well. No complaints there, so it's good. Yeah, nice. We got two, I reckon, just under 2 weeks until the custom kits arrive as well for the squad. So I'm pretty keen to see how those look.
They look pretty mint too.
Yeah,
mate.
I'm pretty excited. So I have wanted to do that for a while. So I've owed it to the guys to get a round of those out. So I'm pretty keen.
Nice. Did you see me in that sexy little number last weekend?
I did. I saved that photo. I told you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking good.
Yeah.
For people that know, we filmed a full episode. So all these things we've already talked about, but we filmed a full episode last week, and we've gone and edited it afterwards, and the audio is just all over the place. So
horrific.
We're pretty confident it was one of our best episodes, even though it is one of
we
3.
say that every week, mate.
True. But no, it was a banging episode, so we're pretty bummed that we couldn't get that out. But the audio was, as Kurt would say, he would be not happy listening to it.
Nah, you can't. You know what it's like, hey? Like if the audio is all over, because let's be honest, a lot of the people will probably listening while you're training or riding. 100%. And if your audio's up and down and you're always having to change it.
Yep.
So it's better off just let that one go through to the keeper, mate.
I reckon so. As everyone knows, we like to keep it professional.
Yeah.
Let's go. Gear grinder, mate. What was your gear grinder for the week?
Mate, my gear grinder is going to, it comes back to that weather, mate. That weather. Just absolutely putting on a show Monday to Friday and then turning it upside down.
Does it make you just want to maybe take some manual leave again, just to go full time?
Nah, because I'm back to where I was, mate. So I've just relatively started a new job again. So I've got no leave, mate.
Yeah. Too busy spending too much time in New Zealand.
Yeah, mate. I know. Air New Zealand, dude, just we're keeping them going ourselves. So
100%.
we got a few more trips coming up
Really?
this year. A couple more.
Oh
weddings.
yeah, you got the tries here.
Yeah,
Oh,
got
you
the
got Try and
tries. Couple
Simons.
more weddings. Yeah,
Yep.
Hannah and Simons the following year. Her brothers in February. So
No, it's good, man. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm rattled at the moment. So
yeah,
my dear girlfriend for the last week has been telling me that her cars had like some little bit of difficulties like starting. Like she was saying like it's kind of clunking a little bit, and then but it will eventually just go anyways. So haven't thought anything of it. Hour before the podcast starts, so we just went to do quick groceries. Anyways, get down to the car park. But where the car park is, it's like full packed at the moment because of the show. Like it's logistical nightmare. Go do the groceries, back in the car breaks down.
Oh,
I know.
no, mate.
So sitting there in the
you'd be a good mechanic too, I reckon.
Terrible mechanic. Terrible mechanic. Anyway, so RACV gets the call and then they come switch the battery out for us. So that rattled me.
Yeah, right.
So,
I thought you were running a little late. I hadn't heard anything. I was like, what's going on?
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Stuck.
Broke down, mate.
Car broken down. But we made it. So quickly whacked together a little spreadsheet and we're moving.
Yeah, nice. What did the battery sting you?
280.
Oof.
Is that
Don't miss you.
Is that expensive for a battery? Is it
pretty standard, mate.
Pretty standard.
Yep. So, mate, did you watch Worlds last night?
I'm a little bit rattled at the moment because I'm on a different time zone because I stayed up to 2 a.m. to watch it. But mate, I was attached to the TV. As soon as he went, I was like, all right, it's going to be a long night. And especially because they had them so close the whole race. Like, you just couldn't go to sleep.
Yeah.
Did you stay up?
I did, mate. I went to bed and then woke up maybe. So I saw it with like 190k to go, and then I was like, I better go to bed. Went to bed, and then I had a turn of energy because I was like, oh, you're just sitting there, you're like, oh, I wonder what's happened. I wonder if the brake's gone, or started attacking. I turned it back on, and Jay Viner just lit it up and blew that group to bits, and then I was just hooked. And I'm like, oh well, we're not getting much sleep tonight, and I'm not training in the morning.
Oh, let's go.
So,
no, mate, it was unreal.
Unreal race to watch.
Yep.
Unreal. The circuit, unreal. And just exciting to watch.
Yeah.
And the man's a freak.
Yep.
An absolute freak, mate. I just cannot fathom how one man is just riding away from Team Belgium, chopping off to bring him back.
Mate, he's literally taking the piss.
Taking the piss.
Yeah. I saw in a post-race interview, I think it was Ben O'Connor talking, and he was saying like there was no hesitation and stuff like that. They were trying. No. Crazy.
Well, everyone knew that, mate. That's the race going up the road. So there's no like bluffing. There's no cards to hide. Everyone's like, oh, you let him ride away, he's gone.
It's insane.
And
mate, he literally, when he went right, he would take one or two people with him.
Yeah.
30 seconds. 30 seconds. They don't even come out of the wheel. Like they're just stuck on the wheel. Popped. He like
Quinn Simmons, the poor bloke.
Yeah.
Oh man. And he looked strong too.
Yeah.
Like just responded straight on the wheel. 30, 45 seconds.
Yep.
I thought he was going to have to get off his bike, mate. Just blew to pieces.
It's insane. The guys are literally saying in the race now, imagine being that good where people aren't responding to your attacks anymore because they know if they try and follow you, their race is going to be done.
The race is over.
Like that's what it's gotten to. Like, no, they're just letting him go now because.
Well, they're also just racing for second really at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah.
They just start playing, oh, well, let's try and get second and third.
Yeah.
It's crazy, mate.
It is crazy.
Crazy.
So,
and he looks, how comfortable does he look doing it?
It doesn't look like he's breathing.
Nah.
Like, did you see? He's literally doing these ones. He's bloody looks like he's nose breathing.
Yeah, like even when he got out of the saddle and attacked, like you look at everyone else behind him, mate. Yeah. They're throwing their bike like their life depends on it, and he's just casually having a look back.
Crazy.
He's a absolute animal.
Yeah.
And we had this discussion last week, but the question was whose year would you rather have between Remco and Pog?
Yeah.
And mate,
it's done.
It's
now.
not even a question anymore.
It's done. It's done.
It's not even close.
It's crazy.
Pog's. I'll take Pog's year any day of the week.
Yeah, 100. Well, now 100%. Like last week, I was a little bit on the fence, but now it's sealed.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. Like, so he bridges to that little breakaway in front that was dangling at like a minute. He bridged that insanely fast. Solo. Tratnik gets on the front, does a burner. One teammate up the road does a burner just to give him a rest. Yeah. And then literally they hit the base of the climb. Gone. But I think he brought Did he bring Bajuli and Sivakov, or was that before? Anyway, he brought Sivakov with him, has dropped Sivakov on that climb, gets to the top, still 100k to go, waits for him to get back on, sits in the wheel for 10 minutes, and then Sivakov starts riding for the rest of the lap. And then, 70k's to go, he's gone again.
Yeah, he got a few turns out of Sivakov, and then I think he just thought, I've got to let's go again.
What do you reckon? Do you reckon because they're teammates, reckon there's any little agreement there that Sivakov's like if it was any other rider, I reckon they're rolling through.
Not before the race, mate. I reckon they just are probably that close and that good of mates that he feels obliged to contribute.
Yeah.
And he might also be one of those guys, mate. Like, there's some guys that feel like they have to, it doesn't sit with them okay to just sit on.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He sat on for a fair bit and then he rolled for maybe a lap.
Oh, nothing was going to save him.
No. And I think he knew that. And the thing is, if he's rolling and getting further away from the others too, then it's only helping his race as well, I guess. But I think he ended up burning his match as well.
It's wild. But did you watch when he dropped Sivakov?
Yeah.
Mate, it literally looks like a motorbike is just
taken off.
He didn't even stand up. He just literally, and it's insane.
He's so smooth as well.
I know.
Like between him cruising and attacking, there's hardly any difference.
It's crazy.
He looks exactly the same on the bike.
Yeah.
He's so stable and smooth.
Well, we literally remember the other day we were on FaceTime and we were after that podcast got released, and they were talking about his endurance zone being 320 to 340. We worked out that his tempo range is literally like 400 watts to 410, going off if what he's saying is correct.
Yeah, around 380 to 410,
which is wild.
Tempo. Wild.
So
at 65 to 66 kilos.
Yep.
And how's that also, mate? If I'm in the hills doing zone 2, 320 to 340, heart rate 140, 145. Like who can even train with him?
Yeah, I know. The cars, man. The cars.
Yeah.
Did you watch that interview?
Yeah, I did.
I love the part where old mate's like to him, when's the last time you tested your VO2 max? And then Pog was...
He hasn't done it in ages.
Yeah, and Pog's like, I haven't done it in ages. And then Pog's like, but it's probably really high.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. No shit, mate.
Yeah, I reckon it would be.
Yeah. I would love to know that as well.
He seems like a pretty relaxed sort of guy, hey?
Seems like a legend. That race yesterday is exactly what it means. Like when the bull starts rolling, when the winners start winning, mate, he's got nothing to lose anymore. Like no one else who has something to gain is attacking with 100 k's to go. But then when he is as good as what he is, it doesn't matter anymore. Anything's a bonus. So he just does outlandish stuff like that because, mate, if it doesn't work, then it doesn't matter. Everybody won the Tour de France 3 times. You know what I mean? But he does this crazy stuff because no one expects it, and it works.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Yeah, absolutely wild. It's good to see Ben O'Connor in second too.
Very good to see an Aussie up there.
Also, huge year.
Yeah,
huge year from the man.
Yeah,
and it probably could have gone south after Netflix did him dirty like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I can only, mate, the bloke's copped some serious hate.
Yeah, he has.
After that Netflix doc on, he's had a great year, his best year ever.
Yeah.
You know, second in the Worlds.
It's unreal.
In a tough race too.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
What do you think about Remco?
I still think he had a great race,
Yeah.
mate. Like, just nothing he could do about it today.
He was getting angry when they weren't rolling through. Did you see that? Yeah, he's getting fiery.
Yeah,
I love it.
I thought Matchy could have helped out a bit more, but I think he just.
Do you reckon he was a little bit hesitant because of the climbs? Like, mate, his game plan would have been to just, like, he's always going to wait until the last one.
Yeah. No, you're right. I think he was a little hesitant.
Yeah.
Probably not as courageous as he usually is, because, those that climb, it was fun. The group was just halving every lap. So
no, awesome watch. Did you see Michael Woods eating out of the plastic container?
Yeah. What was he eating?
So I thought that when they posted, Eurosport posted it, they had like a rice. Yeah. They had like rice emojis and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, definitely not eating rice. Turns out he was eating bicarb out of the thing. Yeah, out of the dish. Apparently there's a brand that it must like make it up into some sort of solution. But he was saying that he was eating bicarb at the start, but he reckons that this one he was taking only last 5 hours. So then he's like, oh, I had bad legs for the last hour.
Yeah, right.
So, fun fact.
Mate, I wish I could handle a bike like that.
Like Rusty Woods?
Or any of them, mate. Yeah. Just sit up, going probably 50k an hour, eating bicarb out of a dish with a spoon.
Literally.
Yeah.
Alaphilippe crash.
I didn't see it.
No,
I haven't seen it in any of the highlights or anything either.
No, apparently it wasn't on the film, but he was a sneaky roughie. Hey, like,
yeah, he always is.
Yeah,
you just got to know because you never know what Alaphilippe's turning up. Because if he turns up, man,
he would be the type of rider.
Could have suited him too, man.
100%.
Yeah,
he'd be the type of rider, like, he's French and has that passion. Like, he'd be the type of rider to maybe follow Pog with that 100k to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but mate, I think that's ending up it ends up for everyone else.
True.
No, it's probably a bit far for Julian.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
But what's he really hurt himself or not?
I don't know. I just put it in my notes.
Okay.
So.
Oh, come on, mate. A bit more research than that. Sorry, you can't just throw it out there and not know.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Not sure.
Oh, hopefully he's all right.
T100, mate. I'm gonna have to take a little bit of a backseat on this because this is your realm. I did watch the highlights, so I can throw a little bit of input in when it's due. But give us a rundown.
T100 Ibiza. Started with the men. And this form of racing, man, it's pretty epic, eh? Like, the standard of racing is pretty high, like. And you can tell that by, world-class athletes pretty much from the gun just blown out the back.
Yep.
It's really fast, hard racing, honest racing. So we had Martin Van Riel, who is still undefeated at this distance. Got into a run battle with Sam Laidlow.
Yep.
So they pretty much came off the bike together and ran all of 15k together. And then Martin just probably running on another level to these guys. And once again, I think it comes back to, like, coming from that ITU, his top end in his running is just so high compared to these other guys. So he's just got that another gear and that leg turnover.
How did he go at Worlds last year, this guy? Did he do it?
In which
70.3?
70.3, nah, he didn't do it. He's been training for the Olympics, mate.
Yeah. Did he do Olympics this year?
Yeah, he did, and I think he had a bit of a shocker.
Yeah.
I think he was maybe teens or 20s, but he got fourth in Tokyo.
Yeah, sweet.
But now he's made the jump. He's done with ITU, and he's just cleaning up.
Yeah,
there's been a bit of hype around him coming to this distance for a while, so he's living up to it.
Sam Laidlow did good not to explode, because when he dropped him, Sam, I reckon he probably knew he didn't have the legs. He looks like he was still kind of clinging on a little bit.
Yeah. No, he's tough as, and really impressive because he'd be in a huge Ironman block at the moment. They got Kona in 4 weeks.
Solid.
So he'd be in a pretty heavy load at the moment. So that was really impressive to have the speed and whatnot to get through a T100.
Yeah. What do you reckon about him running with the hat on? Like, surely you'd be cooking because he had a full snapback on.
Yeah, heaps of them like running in the cap, man. And I don't know why, because I don't know. Everyone's different, but when I wear a cap, mate, my head just
cooks.
Yeah. But if Red Bull are floating you a bit of money, mate,
true,
I'd run in a snapback too. Just put up with the hot head.
True. Right.
Cool it down later with my $100 notes.
Let's go.
But no, the males race was really good. Had a couple Aussies in there. Amberger
made his debut.
No,
was it not his debut or wild card?
No. Yeah, wild card. He got a wild card, so I think he got a call in and on a week's notice.
Solid.
And talking to Joshy, I think he was having probably a few weeks, a bit of a holiday after his last Ironman. I think he was a bit disappointed with how his last few Ironmans went and just felt like he needed a break. So, I'm not, the guy definitely wasn't too preparing for this race, but he's a beast. So he said, I'll come do it for sure.
Good. And let out the water.
Oh, he's always aggressive, mate. That's why I love watching him race. He just puts it all out there.
That's good.
And then Maxi, another Brizzy bloke, Maxi Newman back in there.
That's his first one back, yeah?
Second one back.
Because he's been pretty quiet since his big win last year.
Yeah, so pretty much from my beats the last year, my understanding is he's been injured since.
Yeah.
Got a little niggle in that run last year, and I still think he's not healthy.
Yeah.
Because you can just see, he's coming out towards the front on the bike, and the run, he obviously just can't get the Ks and or the running done at the moment because he's really struggling running. So it's unfortunate because he was absolutely flying. And he just set himself up in an Andorra and whatnot after all that, and the body just isn't playing the game this year. So hopefully he can sort that out and get back running again.
Yeah, no, you're right, because his run is definitely his weapon. So if he's going to be firing, that's where it's going to be.
Yeah. But from my understanding, Maxi's trains hard, mate.
Is Mitch still coaching him?
I think so.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know who's coaching him.
I think it's Mitch.
Yeah.
I think they just put their heads together and come up with a plan.
Yeah, solid.
So,
did you also see they put out the first ever drafting penalty in a T100 event?
Oh, poor Brownlee, mate.
What the hell is going on? How is he getting a drafting penalty, right? When you can literally see on the stream they're flicking elbows to come around. Like when Sam Laidlow's flicking elbows for someone to pull a turn.
Yeah.
So
I think where Alistair got done was they've got a rule. So if you come up to pass, and because they're in a train, they can't just slot in between people.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Because they're then slotting in within the 20-meter gap or 12, whatever it is in T100. So they've got to go all the way to the front. Yep. And they've got a time frame to make that pass.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
And so where Alistair got done is he overtook and then slotted in behind Sam.
Yep.
And after the race, he even said, I probably deserved it.
He did. He looked chill as a cucumber on the side when he was sitting there.
And it's such a shame, mate, because it's probably his most complete race he's put together in the T100s.
Yep.
Still ran really well,
second fastest.
Rode back, pulled time back on that front group, got off, and then ran into fourth as well. So that was good to see. So obviously
he nearly was third.
Yeah, man. Yep. No, really impressive. The first one, he really hasn't had a bit of a blow up. So he's obviously coming along nicely. So hopefully the last two races of the year he might be pushing for that podium, which will be good to see.
I reckon so.
It'll be pretty cool to see the old boy standing on the podium.
I reckon he was probably on for if that went better for him on the bike. He was with them on the lead pack, so I reckon he probably would have been.
He's outrunning Martin though.
Well, didn't he had the second fastest run of the day?
Yeah.
Because old mate in like 8th had the first fastest. Did you see? I don't know who he was, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah. So, and then the women.
What happened to Ash? Because I saw her bike was like 4 minutes down, but she had like one of the fastest runs. Like she was absolutely. She got like 8th off the bike, but would she finish 4th?
Yeah, ran into 4th. So she got off the bike. I think she got off the bike maybe close to 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Behind Taylor. And then ran that back. And phenomenal run. And I actually don't think her bike was that bad. I think Taylor's just that good on the bike.
So she didn't have an issue or anything?
Pardon?
She didn't have an issue on the bike?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
And she missed that front group in the swim.
Yep.
And then like Taylor's going to Worlds, as a TT specialist. Like,
no, you're right.
So there's going to be a big difference between her and the ability of the other girls, and she just rode away. And I think at the start it just drags a couple along for a bit as well, and just put Ash in no man's land.
That makes sense.
And then I don't think she really had anyone super strong with her on the bike, so she's probably had to do a lot of that herself. And but I don't think her bike was as bad. Like, they're making out as if she rode like shit, but I don't think she did. I just think Taylor's really, really strong, and Ash just got caught in an unfortunate position where she didn't have probably the right people around her to help bring her back to the front.
That's fair. That's racing.
Yeah, but then Taylor Nib, mate, just put on a clinic, like, pretty convincing. So
no, she didn't look good.
It's hard to see anyone beating her, but I do think if you get the right course, and I think Ash can do it, because I still think Ash can. You saw her run.
Oh, mate, she was flying.
Yeah, man. If they come out fairly close on the run, I think Ash can do her.
Yeah.
And that Julie Duron as well, another ITU athlete, got second in the Olympics this year. She's made her jump over now too, and ended up second. So, but again, pretty exciting race. Like, apart from Taylor just riding away off the front, it was a good race for the podium, and Ash nearly ran back into that third place. So, no, it was good.
Solid.
Good watching.
Good T100 for sure.
Yeah, definitely. You reckon they party after that over there, or what?
Surely, I would be interested.
Like, how often?
Some of them for sure.
Surely.
You have to ask Hamburger. Does Josh get around it?
Oh, I think Joshy loves a bit of sauce every now and then, maybe a couple times a year.
You'll have to phone him in.
Yeah, we'll have to find out.
Yeah.
But I'm interested enough to have a big party.
Oh, like, man, surely some of them would.
Mate.
Oh, man, that's no excuse. We know a few professional athletes that don't mind.
Yeah, absolute animals. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so we'll have to find out about that.
No, it's good, man. Well, switching sports, heading into our sports corner. Obviously, massive weekend for the Premiership Grand Final for the AFL. Mate,
yeah, the Lions.
Hooked, mate.
Yeah.
What a game.
What a game.
Absolutely put on a clinic. That was some Pogacar versus everybody else type thing we witnessed.
It was I was a bit nervous at the start too, because they've made a bit of a habit of not being great at set shots, the Lions. And they put those first few set shots behind, and I just thought, this is going to rock the confidence a bit.
Yeah. No, mate, they do love it behind the old Lions.
Didn't matter.
Yeah.
Didn't matter. Once they got that roll on, they just was no stopping that train. Dominant. Very, very dominant.
That's good. Do you know what you call that? The Lions?
What?
Moths.
Moths.
Have you ever heard that saying?
No.
Attracted to the bright lights.
Oh, stop it.
I stole that from something. That's not mine. No, unreal.
Unreal. And what do you reckon it is with most of these AFL grand finals are blowouts, mate? Have you like, I went back through and had a look, and it's very rarely close. What do you reckon that is?
Last year's Collingwood versus Brisbane Lions was very close.
Yeah. But let's put it this way.
Do you know
I'd
what?
say
Do you know
it's
what?
nearly-
I reckon it's a pressure thing. Like it's like I think Brisbane Lions are in the grand final. I think there's an accumulation of things. Brisbane Lions grand final last year.
Yeah.
They've been there, done that. MCG midday grand final. Like, you know what I mean? They're used to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Swans typically don't play very well at MCG. Plus, also, it was pretty hot, man. It was pretty hot on the weekend. So you
Really?
it was actually pretty. It was like mid-20s. So from
You've been telling me it's pretty much snowing down there some days.
no, that was we get one good day, 6 bad days.
Yeah, okay.
If
All
we're
right.
lucky, maybe bloody
One.
14 bad days. But it was
1
actually
on, 6 off.
literally no,
Bloody
mate, I
FIFO
reckon-
roster, mate.
literally.
Yeah.
But worse, grimmer than that.
Yeah.
But I reckon a bit of everything. Like they've come down. It's always hot and brizzy. Used to playing in the heat, midday game. For sure would have to play an advantage.
A lot of momentum coming into.
Yeah, big momentum.
They've been on a roll the back end of the season.
Yeah, and I reckon they play for their coach so well, man. Like I reckon he is like the definition of a coach. Hey, like he's just like he's like so Yoda like, and like he's just like he seems just like calm, but like everything he says, like everyone listens.
Yeah.
Like, and it's crazy. Like MCG, like 100,000 people, everything's going crazy. Everyone's in the locker rooms getting ready, and then they cut to like Chris Fagan before the game. Mate, he's literally sitting there all alone, and the cameras are on him, and he's just like sitting there, like eyes closed, just before the game, like just so badass, dude.
Having a nap, you reckon?
Like having
getting a quick bit of shut eye in.
Yeah, mate.
Well, maybe he was, mate, because he might have been tired because he is the oldest premiership winning coach now.
True.
What is he like? I think he was 60. He's 60 something.
Wow. Yeah.
So he could have just been having a nap, mate.
He could have. Also, he's the first coach to coach a premiership team that has never played a VFL or AFL game.
Yeah. Right.
Interesting fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, mate. I reckon the boys would just rally around him massively.
What are the young studs stood up to?
They did.
They just had cracking games.
Yeah.
Lockie Neal had a huge game again.
Yep.
And like coming in pretty injured, mate. They must be shooting him up with some painkillers, hey?
Yeah, probably.
I think they must.
Yeah, mate. Like how they're backing up week after week.
Yeah.
Obviously, all legal stuff.
Because he was having trouble with a heel, wasn't he?
No idea. He had a black eye. He got punched by a teammate last week by accident.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he did. 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, right.
But no, do you know? I don't mind that some of the Swans players. Like, I actually get it. Do you know him?
Nah, mate.
Like Chad Warner's, he's pretty cool with it. I like watching him play.
I keep an eye on the Lions during the year, and then I really get invested in the finals.
Yeah.
I don't watch because I'm such a leaguey. It's just pretty league. Like I can't watch every sport. The missus would have my neck.
Sticking on the AFL quickly. What I want to say, Katy Perry, right? Did you see how much she got paid for that performance?
5 mil.
5 mil.
Yeah.
Wild.
Apparently they were going to pay 20 mil for who was the rock band they were trying to get?
Rolling Stones.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Rolling Stones.
They offered them 20 million.
No, I think Rolling Stones asked for 20 mil.
Oh, okay.
And AFL said that's a lot of money.
Roll on.
Yeah, roll on. We're gonna get Katy Perry raw.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually didn't watch the halftime show. Was it any good?
That was a pre-game show, mate. There was no halftime show.
Wasn't there?
Nah, man. Pre-game, 20-minute performance.
Any good, mate? 5 mil for 20 minutes.
5 mil for 20 minutes. But everyone, do you know what's crazy, right? Everyone was like, oh, I really like how she was getting around the AFL, like the days leading up to it and everything like that. She just wasn't there for the performance. And I'm like, mate, pay me $5 million. I'll be there for a year and I'll talk to everyone. So
that's not a bad early rate, mate.
Nah, it's not bad at all.
Yeah,
not bad.
Holy.
Who was the person that she got on for like 20 seconds?
No idea, mate. I literally turned it on when it started.
Yeah, okay.
And then jumped in the pool at halftime, went for a quick dip.
Nice.
threw the arms over, and then got out and then watched it.
Solid.
Um,
Oh, another one on AFL. So did you see, like, days leading into the event, that like the news reporters and stuff were catfishing all this stuff, saying immediately after the game there's going to be this massive breaking news and it's going to like rock the world and it's all this kind of stuff. So literally days leading up to it, so everyone was like anticipating this massive announcement straight after the event. Nothing, mate. Like, people are saying someone's going to retire, commentators are going to retire. Joe Danaher is apparently meant to retire, but there was nothing. And even since, there's been no announcement.
I don't know if we get the same AFL news up here as you do down there, mate.
Yeah, fair.
They're probably, it's like home and away down there.
Yeah, you're right.
Just every day, mate.
Mate, everyone's a footy player down here.
Yeah, I know.
NRL. Yep.
Kevy, mate. Bronx, sack him.
So what thoughts as a proud Broncos supporter?
Oh, I'm pretty dirty, mate.
So what's the go? Why? Why? When? How?
Oh.
Is it because he paid $1.1 million for the new Reece Walsh contract?
Well, he's not doing that, mate. So Kevy's not controlling the salary cap issue. Like, I don't think he's recruiting players. They've got someone employed for that. But apparently they brought in an independent reviewer to do an audit on the club.
So they just sacked the head coach.
Yeah, apparently they've come to the conclusion that, you know, we've got to sack the head coach. I reckon it's a crock of bullshit, and I reckon they've had it planned for a while. Because my understanding is Michael Maguire already knew he was the coach. So they haven't announced it yet, but I think we'll hear in a few days that Michael Maguire is going to be the coach. So I think it had already been planned, mate. So pretty, and what shits me is 3 weeks earlier, or a couple of weeks earlier, you know, the club made a statement that they would be standing behind Kevy and letting him see out his last 12 months, and they've got faith in him. And then 2 weeks later, just sacking him, like, just
crazy.
And it, you know, you're asking, you know, how can you start expecting things of your players and your club as if, you know, your president and your board are going back on their word that they said 2 weeks ago? You know, I think that just sets the tone of what's going on at the Broncos at the moment. I think it's an absolute shit show.
Yeah. How long's he been there for?
3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And look, he hasn't had a great run. Like, they had a great run last year, you know, obviously to the grand final, but the other 3 haven't been great. And I definitely think there's, you know, as a pretty heavy Broncos supporter, I definitely thought there was some areas he could improve, like with player performance, like dropping guys, putting them to reserve grade and making them play for their position. You know, I felt like he was probably a little nice to the boys. But, you know, to bring in another coach that's been sacked from the last 2 clubs he's been at probably doesn't sound like the greatest idea to me. You know, he got sacked from South and then sacked from Tigers. He wins one State of Origin game, and I honestly don't know how these boards are where they are, mate. I think it's a massive boys' club, and guys are just well and truly out of their depth.
Yeah, mate. It's like it's like some of these sports that have been around for ages, and it's run by, I guess, the ancient historic, you know, system. Yeah. And it just goes in circles. And once you get in there and you get your job, you're just forever in there and you just circle around the clubs.
Yeah.
And nothing changes.
Once again, you know, it's poor players' performance, and it's the coach copping the hit. You know, they're professional athletes, and it's the coach taking the hit.
Yeah.
And this is, you know, I've been thinking a lot about this because, you know, I love the Broncos, but let's put it this way. So Kevy's he's only getting paid 500, maybe 600 grand a year.
Yep.
To coach, right? They've got multiple players that are on 300,000 to 400,000 a year playing Q Cup, mate. Playing reserve grade. They can't, like, put that into perspective. Like, there's a lot of dead wood at that club that should be moved on before
And if they're
you
playing
move your
Q Cup, is that going out of their salary cap as well?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, there's some players in the team I think are heavily overpaid. And
yep. Tell us how you really feel, mate.
Oh, mate, I'd be moving the players on before Kevy. I think Kevy's performed just fine if you weigh up his salary compared to some of the others.
Will he go somewhere else?
I'm not sure, mate. I don't think he'll go to another club.
Yeah.
No, he's a Bronco through and through, which is unfortunate, but
sad.
Hopefully the club doesn't lose him. But we'll watch this space.
I wish I could give you more on that, mate, but I'm so out of touch with the NRL, so you're talking to a brick wall, but I'll listen. Yeah. I'll throw my 2 cents. Panthers and Storm into the finals. Who you picking?
Storm.
Yeah, they seem like they've got it put together. Hey.
Oh, dude, they
really
put on a clinic. And let's be honest, mate, Penrith are unreal too. I just hope Storm win.
Mate, watching the Panthers play, they've just got me so biased from watching them play State of Origin. Like, mate. Yeah. Is there something about that New South Wales team, eh?
It's just because you're a Queenslander, mate.
I just can't see past it.
Nah, either can I, but they're weapons. Yeah. You know?
Nah, they are good.
So it'll be a good game.
Yeah, solid. So picking Storm.
Yeah, I'm going Storm.
Bang. All right, so thanks to everybody who flicked in some questions for us to answer on this week's episode.
Oh, yeah, I'll be honest, mate. Mine were half legitimate questions, and the other half were all my mates just sending Mr. Chow memes. And it's probably deserved, mate, because I've probably sent my fair share of them as well. So when you said, we'll put it on our stories, I was like, I'm going to be copping it here. But that's right. The boys were into me, but it's all fun and games. So thanks for that, boys. Appreciate it.
Any in particular names, or keep that on the down low?
Mate, honestly, I'm talking 20 people.
Really?
Yeah, mate.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's funny.
Thanks, boys. Love it. Mr. Chow, always a good one.
All right. So, with everybody knowing NRS is closing shop, but we have Pro Velo League starting up in Australia. So, pretty much, what are we thinking? Like, how we think this is going to work? Ideas, and how is it looking to support accessibility for teams, individuals? Like, how is this going to happen?
Well, you're probably the man to start this conversation. You've been in and around it, the NRS and whatnot for a fair bit. So, how do you think it needs to look, or how do you think it's going to happen?
Like, obviously, I'm no expert, but like I've chatted to you briefly about, I just think that racing in Australia, we're just going to keep on coming across the same problem, which is money and getting to the races. The reason why we can't have a massive season is because it costs so much money to get to these events, and the plane flights and logistics and all that kind of stuff is insanely expensive, and how much it costs to shut down these roads here. Like I said to you, the reason why in Belgium and the Netherlands it works so well is it's so easy for them to just shut stuff down and just chuck on a kermesse, and you have all these different regions scattered throughout Belgium. And if you're living in one of these regions, you're like 10 minutes to 1 hour away from getting to a race any day of the week. So you can just literally ride to whatever you need to do, and you're immediately racing really good quality races. Where here, mate, you've got to literally go away for a holiday.
Yeah.
And what if you do that 5 times a year, there's thousands and thousands of dollars, but you've only raced 5 times for the years. It's not a season, and it's hard to convince sponsors to chip in when it's hard to show.
Yep. Yeah, I guess my only take is, like we've discussed, is and there's probably reasons for it, but I just don't know why people are so hell bent on racing as team, like having teams. Because to me, it just doesn't seem. Obviously, it's not sustainable. Like, sure, why doesn't everyone just race individually? But then I guess we're still coming into the coming into the same sort of problems as you're having to pay for your
Yeah. Do you reckon
your
it's
way, but
people just
I
like
reckon
being
it's-
attached to a team? Like there's like the pride like that. Like it's like I'm in this team.
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I reckon a good way we could strip it back is going the AFL route or the footy route, and we're looking at adding more of like a preface on running it out of these clubs. Like for example, when you get your license, a lot of people don't really have an emotional connection to their club. So I reckon a way for people to get more involved with their club and have a bit more of an emotional connection with their club is trying to, for example, race for these different divisions in the clubs. And like we all know that the club racing on the weekend it always seems to be pumping. So setting up some sort
right.
of
So what you're talking like a Prems first grade, second grade.
I reckon people should give it a crack.
And then so what you'd have your Hamilton Wheelers, let's just say.
Yep.
Your elite division.
Yep.
And then just
I reckon why not?
First grade, second grade, third grade.
Like you were saying, you get more interest and people getting involved into your club. Like
you're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because let's say for instance Bridge Lane.
Yep.
You know, you're with Bridge Lane now, and to the general rider, there's no attachment there at all, is there?
Exactly.
You know, there's no. Whereas if it's my club,
exactly.
I reckon you're going to get around it a lot more and get a lot more interest.
Yep.
Because you look at Hamilton Wheelers, mate, and anything they do is, you know, and they're a big club and they do things really, really well. But you know, they've got all divisions coming to watch races and that, like Twilight, mate.
Yeah, it pumps.
Example, it pumps. So that could be. You'd be on there, mate.
Let's go. But I think if you look at Hamilton, they've been around for 100 years.
Yeah.
It's still going really strong.
Yeah.
I just think, I don't know, how would you kick it off? Like, I'm not too sure, but I think having
what are some other big, like, so you're talking just big cycling clubs throughout Australia?
I reckon throughout Australia.
Yeah.
You have your club membership, and part of the memberships go towards paying for transport to get to these races. And surely the Masters riders, juniors, parents, everything, they're going to want to pay some sort of fee to be in the club, but it doesn't need to be expensive, but everything adds up to be a part of this club. And you want to try and be in the thirds. You want to be in the third grade, second grade, Premier Division. This Premier Division, they have like the series. It's like the AFL, it's like the NRL, and they race each other all year round in the series. I think it could be
it's probably not a bad way to have funding coming in too. Like, for example, let's just say they want to send some juniors away to Europe or whatnot. And you know, the club could put an event on with all proceeds going helping these kids get over, and no one would even bat an eyelid at it, mate.
Yep.
It's probably not a bad. Not a bad shot, mate. Bloody hell!
But that's my idea.
Oh well, you might want to look into that.
Do you reckon this has been tried before though?
I don't know. Well, I don't know.
Not sure.
Nah.
But like I said, unless you're one of these countries like Belgium and Netherlands where you have these, it's so popular that you have these teams that are willing to just literally drive everywhere. Like I was saying to you, in France and Italy, Spain, at the amateur to like semi-professional level, like these teams aren't flying to these events. They're literally
bus.
They're driving 1 hour to 10 hours every weekend to get to these events. So unless people are willing to do that in Australia, but like you still can't do that. It's to get from Brisbane to Victoria, it's like a 16, 20 hour drive. So it's just unrealistic. So I think it's always just going to be such a logistical and expensive problem that unless there's some big sponsor that comes on board to sponsor the series, but to get to that point where you can provide a series that is worth sponsoring, it's hard.
Have they given any update on how they plan on running it, or
man, this like I don't,
or teams, or what
teams are even? I know of a handful of teams, but like there can't be 4 teams that are going to be racing in the series. Like that's all I've really even heard.
Yeah, right. which is we're just going to run into the exact same problem we've just had.
Yep.
Is two teams rocking up to an NRS race, and
I hope for the sake of cycling in Australia that it happens. Like, good on ARA and Matt and all those guys for literally showing initiative, because if it wasn't for them, there would be nothing next year. Like, there would be no racing. So it's it's good that they're doing it.
This isn't a knock on anyone either. Like, it's just how do we think we can run? Because let's be honest, man, I'll take my hat off to these guys. Like, it'd be a full-time job, you know, and they're probably doing it for the love of it. So, like, I'd put my hand up, mate. I'd have no chance.
Yeah.
I'd spit the dummy and throw the toys out the cot within about a week, I reckon. So,
but it's just hard. Like, it's hard to sell. Like, I imagine trying to sell the series to a sponsor for millions of dollars or hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars,
especially in Australia. Like, it's you're right. Yeah, sweet.
Kurtos, how do you reckon the best way to cope with training on shift is? People working away, FIFO, people who work massive hours and trying to juggle training at the same time. You are the king of this, so let's hear it.
I do have a bit of experience with myself on this, working a fair bit of shift, and also got a few athletes that are shift workers. So Phoebe's a shift nurse.
Yep.
So she's usually a couple nights a week. And then I've also got a guy on a 3-and-3 roster out on an oil rig in the middle of the ocean. So I think the biggest thing we've learnt, and I've learnt through myself and coaching a few, is when you are on shift, you need to just take it easy on yourself. You know, allow yourself to have easy days, because you just can't be putting in the work when your body's under stress. You know, lack of sleep, cortisol levels going through the roof. You know, you're going to be achieving absolutely nothing training when your body's in that state. So you just end up burning the candle at both ends. And I've learned that. Like, how often have I met you straight out for a ride, straight off a back of night shift? You know, I've gotten home at 4:30, meeting you at 6.
Well, Cooks, like you're doing your 2-hour naps during the day to catch up.
Yeah. And you're just going backwards.
Yeah.
You know, you're just burning the candle at both ends. So, you know, for a shift worker like with Phoebe, we try and get our work done before she goes on shift. Then while she is on shift, I'll just give her either no training at all. But she prefers if we just give her a little bit. So it'll be as simple as going for a walk or a really easy swim. And we just find that helps regulate her body to try and keep her in somewhat normality, you know. And then the same with the shift worker, mate. He came to me, he was really burnt out because he's working 13, 14-hour days and then trying to absolutely empty himself in the gym. Yeah. And it's just not sustainable, you know. He started not sleeping properly, and it's just a slippery slope from there. Yeah. So now, you know, he's back 3 weeks, and that's when we get our work done. We let him recover for a couple of days, and then we put in a good 3-week block, and then when he ships off, it's just in maintenance mode, mate. And it becomes more about enjoying training while he's over there, because it's a de-stressor for him while he's on the ship. You know, there's no point in him absolutely dreading a session where he's going to have to absolutely fist himself. You know, he's, you know, where he can look forward to getting a bit of a sweat on. You know, we put a bit more emphasis on strength stuff that's not that.
Doesn't require as much effort.
Yeah, doesn't require as much effort or mental effort. Yeah, and I think that's a big one, the mental effort that, you know. So, and he's coming along really nicely. No, so,
I think people just being more aware of like what your body is actually doing when you're exercising and the stress that your body is under. Like, people understanding that when you're training, your body doesn't know if it's bloody running or swimming or whatever. It just goes, I'm stressed. I need to improve in these aspects. But
that's the same, and it goes for, it doesn't know if it's work stress or
exactly
a hard day on the tools or training, mate.
Yeah.
Stress is stress.
Yep.
You know, and yeah, you just don't want to, you know, overload that. And
Yep.
what really got to me and is these adaptations aren't made while you're working 14-hour shifts.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to allow your body to recover.
Yep.
And I reckon when you think about it like that, you're doing yourself a disservice if I go and train right now.
Yeah.
Take the dog for a walk or something, but just chill out. A couple of days after it, just slowly start building it back up, because you know one day after you're not back to your cup full again.
Yep.
You know, it's going to take a couple of days. So
that's good, mate. So Kurto says
don't put work in while you're on shift.
Very good.
Recover.
So Kurto says prioritize sleep and recovery.
Yeah.
Very good.
100%. Yeah.
What question we got next?
What do we have next?
Also, another one quickly.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about that Way High, that World Triathlon Series race. Did you watch it?
Oh, I didn't. I saw the highlights.
Yeah. Mate, it was on a weird time, mate.
Yeah, dude. Random.
Like I woke up on like a Saturday and I was seeing stuff and I was like, oh, has it already been?
Yeah.
So yeah,
No.
Alex Yee ended up getting up.
Yeah.
But apparently Hauser, he just had a rough night's sleep with the jet lag and travel and everything. Apparently only got 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 hours of sleep. By the sound of it, mate, he was a bit nervous about heading to China to even begin with.
Yeah.
He seemed really stoked about that. He still slogged through for a 17th, mate.
Yeah.
So, but Lukey William.
Oh, true. Yes.
Is it a 6th?
Mate, you got 6th, yeah.
Yeah.
Unreal. Mate, I wish
Very
he did that at
solid.
the Olympics, eh? I wish.
Yeah.
Like, he's got it in the bag. Like, he can do it.
Oh, he does. He just had an unfortunate day, I think,
Yeah.
mate. And the race dynamics just didn't play out the way to suit him. But
he must be pretty high up on the standings for the overall with that still.
He would be, because I'm pretty sure he was like...
He was leading at one stage.
Yeah, and then I think Maddie took over. So I think he'd have to be right up there.
Surely top 5.
Yeah, but even Hayden Wild didn't have a great day either, I don't think.
Mate, what is he doing with his hoods?
Yeah.
That needs to stop.
It's
too much.
It can't be aero.
It's not aero.
He must feel comfortable doing it. But it's got to be dangerous, dude.
Mate, I reckon that's too much. There's getting around it and like boys are like, yeah, like we'll chuck the hoods and everything like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But not, all right, let's invert them completely and lay them horizontal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I rate Hayden as mate, he is a sick athlete, but he needs to fix that.
Yeah.
That needs to be changed.
I think he gets a lot of this, and maybe it's just him now fucking sticking the finger up and saying, I'm sticking with it, you know?
Yeah. Probably.
There might be a bit of that in it, but I want to know why he does it.
It would have to be comfort, dude, because I've seen his position, and he's not creating the wheel, a new wheel of aerodynamics by any means. Like it's
okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I remember the first time I seen it, I think it was when he signed some new Canyon sponsorship deal, and he was wheeling his bike into the Canyon, must be headquarters, and I'm like, is he joking here with what he's done with his hoods? And then people in the comments were just going crazy. But then I seen it again on the weekend, and it's just I just can't get around it.
It's very inverted.
Very inverted.
They're pretty much horizontal, though.
Mate, it's 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So, we'll might swing him a message, hey? Ask why he puts his hoods like that.
Yeah.
See, I'm sure he watches the show, mate. So Hayden, if you can just why do you tilt your hoods in so much?
Done. We'll make a reel out of this.
Yeah.
Reel out.
Thanks. Hey, cheers, Hayden.
Cheers, Hayden.
Thanks, mate.
If you want to come on the pod, mate, let us know.
Yeah. we should be able to make room. So another question. Next question.
Yeah. Go one more question.
All right. How do you boys, spelled BOIS, find mentally coping with injuries? How do you go, mate? What you go to?
Well, do you want to go? How do you? I reckon you can do the injury one. Like if you're like injury from training induced.
Yep.
I reckon if you want to hit that one, and then I can just hit crash injury.
Yep. So I guess training induced injuries. In the past, I've been historically pretty poor at. And because it comes down, like with myself,
is it the running? The running's the killer?
Yeah, it's running, dude.
Yep.
And the thing is, like, you can always get around a little niggle on the bike. Where running, you just can't run. Like, usually your injury is just stopping you. You can't run at all. But historically, mate, I'm pretty bad because at the end of the day, I just train because I like the person I am more when I'm training. Yep. I'm less aggressive, and
you're not telling everybody to stop eating quieter.
Yeah, that's right, mate. It knocks the edge off me, and I'm a little more placid. So when I can't train, I'm not a great person to be around. So usually, I just spit the dummy and throw the cots, the toys out the cot for a few days, and then the missus puts the boot up me, and then I just start treating it like, first of all, I just look at what I can do. What can I do to train? Because I think it's really important that you keep moving in some way. And I think that's going to help the injury too, mate. Just help regulate blood flow.
Yep.
Rather than just sitting on the couch and feeling sorry for yourself. So I'll look at what I can do. And then just come up with a plan.
Yep.
Like go see a good physio, and just set goals and treat those goals as an event,
So just address it quickly.
Address it quickly. Like get on top of it.
Yep.
And treat those, those goals as events. So, all right, what have I got to do to get back on the bike or get back running? All right, what do we need to see and how am I going to get there? Go about it that way. And then, that's
good, man.
And the biggest tip is just, I'm either, like I've done it so many times and I'm sure so many people have, you're either 100% in or 100% out. So I'm either training full gas or I'm not training at all.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not the right way to go about it.
Yep.
So because you probably find that, 100% out, when you do come back and go 100%, you're just going to...
Well, you're going to get injured again. Especially running.
Yeah, vicious cycle.
Yep.
What about... mate, you've had a couple crashes in recent times.
Have touched down a few times.
Yeah.
Only two bad ones. I've had a few others, but just two bad ones. Did it properly twice. Yeah. But I reckon dealing with it, especially when you're breaking stuff, hitting your head, you just gotta, you can't do anything about it. Just prioritize getting healthy, looking after, especially your head, getting your head right physically, and also just talking about it as well. And then it's pretty much the same as you, mate. Just looking to the next goal is be like, okay, well, setting a little goal of, all right, I'm going to try and be back for this race. I'm going to try and just recover as best as possible and set a little goal so you don't lose hope type of thing. Also just realizing mate, it happens. Everyone's crashing, and you're not alone. It's just a part of it. And as crap as it is, you just gotta cop it. Hey,
Do you find that it's almost easier to deal with the big significant injuries rather than the small persistent niggly ones?
Or I don't know.
I just find myself when you break your bone and you just know that's it. There's no you're just oh, there's nothing I can do about it.
I reckon I'll take a little one.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
No. I know what you mean.
It's the ones that feel like nothing.
Yeah. And
then you go for a run and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, when will this go away? That's what infuriates me.
There's pros and cons to each argument. Because, mate, people go niggles for months and months. Say you break your collarbone, you probably got 4, 5, 6 weeks and you're good to go. 6 weeks
and that's it.
Yeah. If you, especially things you can't see, you're going to get scans and it just won't go away and things like that.
Yeah.
I reckon it just depends on the significance.
Yeah. Because when I've had you on the phone in the hospitals in
Oh man,
in Belgium, mate. It's yeah, you're right. I'll take a little niggly glute issue, please.
Yeah, mate. It's the most annoying thing is just the head knocks. Hey, that's the one that really annoys me.
Scary though too, hey.
Oh mate, like I don't care. Like I don't care about breaking bones and things like that. But is this something about knocking your head?
Yeah,
like it annoys me. Like it's just the annoying thing about it because you just feel it knocks you for a while. Hey, it really rattles you. And like you got all the post stuff that it goes away, but like it's not good.
Yeah.
So it's frustrating. When I hit my head, I always get frustrated because I'm like, I got to live with this for forever. Like you know what I mean?
Mate.
Like you know what I mean? So it is
CTE, mate.
I know, that's why it's annoying because I'm yeah. Like because you don't know. Like you don't know what you've done.
No.
But I've been pretty lucky. Like hitting your head is not good. But touch wood, I haven't like knocked myself out or anything like that, which is good.
Yeah.
Like all my bad crashes, I remember everything.
Yeah.
Which I think is good.
Yeah.
But still not good to hit your head.
So what do you think it is about Belgium, mate?
Mate, just the riders.
Yeah.
The riders, mate.
The big boys just pushing Elliot around or what?
Nah, do you know what it is? It's
the road furniture everywhere.
No, it's because this year, like you're trying to get a world tour contract and everything like that, and like I had an unreal start to the year, and I was on a streak, and I was just putting myself into a race that probably actually didn't even suit me, but like I was still on to run a drum. But like someone just lays it down in front of you in a sprint finish on pancake flat Belgium race when little 63 kilo Elliot's trying to get amongst it in the sprint. But it was on Christoph's wheel, but then old Jensen Plowright laid it down in front of me.
Oh, Jensen.
He did say it. He said sorry.
Yeah, okay. But it's a dangerous sport, hey?
Oh, exactly.
It's you almost forget it sometimes, but I think that, like, you even look at just how hectic it is in the bunch. So you look at the Netflix doco, mate, and I think it's done huge amounts in gaining respect from the general public on just how dangerous and crazy the sport is.
Yeah.
Because some of that footage of the descents and in the bunch and the lead outs coming in for a sprint finish is, mate, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Mate, I reckon it's more scary in the lower levels.
Yeah, right.
Mate, because most of the people like aren't of that skill level to like throw themselves around and ability and everything. Like, for example, those Tour de France guys, there's like, say you have a team, you have all the teams, and say it's a sprint finish day. There's like one person from each team. There's 15 people. There's probably 10, 15 people who can win the stage, and everybody knows that. There's the fight and everything, but eventually everybody kind of gets out of the way, and everyone is there to do a job. Then they get out. But mate, like these like lower level races, like the 0.1s, 0.2s, and point pros, and like people are trying to get like world tour contracts. Like, mate,
they're so desperate.
Mate, they're desperate. Like I've been in there as well, and you're just trying to get whatever result you can.
Try and slot into gaps that aren't gaps.
Exactly, and like, mate, it's from start.
And you can't blame anyone for it either, because you're all trying to get the same goal, mate.
No.
Yeah,
mate.
That's probably a good shout.
Like I've said to you, dude. Like the annoying thing with some of the races this year is it's not a test of fitness. It's just a full test of luck, like those Belgium Netherlands races that you're doing.
Yeah.
Like it's not even. There's not one point in the race where you're thinking about your legs or thinking about when you're going to use your energy and thinking about I'm been training really hard for this. Like I'm gonna have a crack. Like it's literally like trying not to crash, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. Scared the whole time.
Literally.
Yeah.
So I reckon that's the biggest difference.
Yep.
What's coming up for the week?
This week?
Yeah.
Mate, working.
Bit
of work. I think we'll look at talking to or plan our next guest. So
let's go. Yeah, we got a guest coming on for the next one.
Yep, that'll be good. Something a little different too. That I think we both feel pretty strongly about, that we'd like to listen to, and it can be insightful. So
100%.
That should be a good one. And then hopefully just get a bit of training done, and then I've got a got an engagement party on Saturday too, but that should be good. Have
No,
a
it's
couple beveraginas.
Barking at you?
Yeah, mate.
Let's go.
So, but nothing too silly. I've got the in-laws there, so not too much carry on.
Mate, they know what you're up to. No,
yeah,
there's no fooling there.
Nah, we're married now, mate.
Let's go.
There's stuff now. What about you?
I'm going to sound pretty boring, mate, but I just got training and work.
Oh, how good.
So,
that sounds unreal.
I wish I had more to report, but that's about it, eh?
It's good to see you back training a fair bit again, mate.
I start to feel like I can actually pedal my bike well again, so it's nice.
Yep.
So,
when are you back in Brizzy next?
Should be a few weeks.
Take me for an absolute...
Oh, man, I can't wait. I can hear the goat track from here.
Mate, if we go to goat track, I'm going to need to get a lift up.
That's all right. Worth it. So worth it.
Yeah.
But
all right.
I'm trying to think, buddy, anything else interesting that's happening?
Mate, we got the NRL Grand Final, and that's about it.
Then after that, what? Shop shut for the rest of the year.
Yeah, mate. Maybe P. Diddy.
Oh, no.
Oh, dude. What an interesting character, eh?
Yeah, he's not. It's not looking too good, eh?
Nah, mate. I think he's up to his eyes in baby oil. Buddy.
Yeah.
All right, mate. It's been a fantastic chat. It's been good seeing your face again. I had a couple of days off, so I should be good for another couple of days. Thank you all again for listening. It was episode 3, and don't forget to like and subscribe, please. And next week, episode 4, we're going to have another guest, so stay tuned to that. It'll probably be a little more informative than the two of us rambling. So thank you very much, sir, for joining.
Thank you.
And I guess we'll see you all
next week.
We'll talk to you all next week.
Cheers, guys.
Adios.